Hi, I'm George Bellwood, CEO and co-founder of Vertis Tech. Today I've been asked by the Digital Futures Festival, organised by Employability Bridgend, to discuss a little bit more about what I do in technology and the industry that I'm in, which is virtual reality. I want to start off this presentation by playing this short video, just to give you a little bit of an understanding and a background.
Imagine you put on your glasses or headset and you're instantly in your home space. It has parts of your physical home recreated virtually, it has things that are only possible virtually, and it has an incredibly inspiring view of whatever you find most beautiful.
Hey, are you coming?
Yeah, just gotta find something to wear. Alright, perfect.
Oh, hey, Mark.
Hey, what's going on?
Hi.
Mark. What's up, Mark?
Whoa, we're floating in space? Who made this place? That's awesome.
Right? It's from the crater I met in LA.
This place is amazing.
Boz, is that you?
So as you might be aware, Meta have actually turned their whole entire business into virtual reality now. So this is a whole new concept that Mark Zuckerberg has sort of wanted to push forward, which is really exciting for the technology. It's really exciting for you guys because you might be getting into this technology further down the line. So this is a really good way to introduce myself and the company that I work for. So we're Vertis Tech. Vertis Tech has built an engine which allows people to build their own virtual reality scenes and scenarios and simulations and deploy it on VR headsets and on any device possible. The reason being for this is because predominantly in training, you might want to be able to see something before you even have to learn to do it, for example. And you might have to understand a little bit more about it, but you want to take it home. And this is something that we're designing to do. And that's been able to organizations to build their own simulations as much as possible. I founded the company back in 2018 when I was at university. I went to Cardiff University and I was studying business management. Not knowing what to do or where I was going to go, I decided to start my own company. Now, I'm not suggesting that this is something that you guys should be considering, but if you're not sure where you're going to be going, it's okay. You don't have to know just yet. There are so many opportunities for you to try. And this was one of the things that I just happened to try whilst I was at university. And I did it with my best friend at university who was studying software engineering. I failed my first year at university, which then led me to realise that failing isn't actually that as bad because I'm learning so much moving forward. And although I felt like I failed, it's something that I continuously pushed forward. So I always take really immense pride in the fact that I failed my first year at university because it's what led me here today. I have loads of fun at work. I like to play around with VR headsets and understand a little bit more about the technology. And again, something you guys can get into quite easily, which is just that technology side of it and understanding how it can be used to help, society, help communities, and to sort of really push it forward. We were fortunate enough to raise some money, and this was a very arduous task and process that I went through with my co-founder, but we were able to then take in investment and grow the team, and we were able to invite people into this technology who weren't maybe from that technology, but we were able to sort of help them sort of understand a little bit better. And again, something that you guys could apply for today. We work with really big brands, and that's some really cool parts of the job because we get to work with your brands like Gŵyl, for example, and we really enjoy sort of working with our customers. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, I have got no clue what I'm doing. This is a fundamental thing. I don't think anyone really sets out to know what they're actually doing, but you're constantly learning, you're constantly understanding what's going on. And then by using that sort of momentum, you find your way and you find everything you need. So what is VR used for? Well, as you guys might know, it's sort of used for gaming, and with Metaverse coming out and Apple bringing out their new headset, there's so many different applications that VR have. Predominantly, we see a lot of it in education, healthcare, media, and even fashion, and mainly sort of training, which is where we come in. But with sort of the healthcare, you're looking at you're training your medical staff. Education, at schools now, they're implementing more VR headsets, whilst you're immersed in sort of a huge battlefield, shall I say, of a civil war that you might be going on, and you can virtually see everything around you of the war going on if it's reenacted and put into a VR headset. Gaming obviously is a very big one. There are some huge gaming companies that are bringing it out. I know that PS5 have got their own VR headset, and again, that's to engage people a little bit more. But as I said, predominantly we work in the training sector, so we help people and organizations better train themselves and upskill themselves into different industries. So what can be the driving force of VR and the adoption of this? Well, there are very many things that are driving this innovation and adoption. You have the things like cryptocurrency, NFTs, which are being brought into this. Meta have obviously got their own cryptocurrency, which they've yet to launch, but it will become one day a thing. There are obviously areas of, future pandemics or sort of macroeconomical impacts that will come in. So wars and everything like that, which will drive technology to help engage people a bit better, to train them, to learn, to understand, and to aid them, if you like. So COVID was a really big version where it pushed this technology and pushed it really far forward. Then you've got the likes of the metaverse, and that concept, which will be linked to the blockchain, is a huge concept. Something of which, like in the videos you saw, Mark Zuckerberg is looking to build the biggest one. I'm not sure any of you have seen Ready Player One, but essentially that is what their whole plan is. They want to build the ultimate world where you're going to be immersed into a VR headset constantly. That's where you'll work, that's where you'll earn money, that's where you'll engage with friends and socialize, as you saw. So what is it that we actually do? Well, we do it in various different ways. With the businesses building their own content and being able to do that, think of us sort of like the PowerPoint of VR or the Canva of VR. We allow organizations to build sections of sort of augmented reality where they've got VR Connect. So you can connect with one another. This is where you can have meetings, you might have interviews in VR headsets. This is where you start pushing forward in the boundaries of technology. We also have, again, training, as I said, predominantly. So we work very closely with healthcare. So a lot of doctors and nurses and education, they go through our platform to build out learning materials and understanding how it all works. And that's whether you're onboarding on a new sort of job role or if you're going back into education, the technology is there to really help enhance that experience. And then going on to experience, we have our VR experience. So there's a lot of different experiences you can try today with VR headsets in order to understand a little bit more. And I'll come on to this one a little bit later, onto what a lot of companies are looking to sort of build as part of the experience. So as I said, think of us as like the PowerPoint of VR or the Canva of VR. You simply create your environment using a drag and drop of your own files or your own media or your own backgrounds, and then you can deploy it out onto any VR headset or any device possible. So it's really used by content creators and teams to collaborate and to build stuff, so you don't need to know any code. And by using this technology, it's helping society be upskilled a lot better and a lot more. My amazing team here have worked so hard to get where we are today. So we're based in Cardiff and we are in a great little hub called Tramshire Tech, and we get to play with a lot of the VR headset, get to learn about the technology, and we get to push forward this innovation, and it really helps customers out with everything. So all these guys have sort of come to us with some of them not even having a VR background as such, but they come to us and they get to learn a little bit more about the opportunities of technology, and this will then upskill them to go and search for new jobs, hopefully in the future. And that's what we want to do. We want to help upskill them and push them forward. So how is our software being used? Well, it's being used as part of the immersive content for professionals around the world. We're saving them time. We've been saving money, especially for like the NHS in training, and we're unlocking the access. So some of the biggest brands that we've been working with, such as NHS, Google, Coca-Cola, Primark, and even NASA. This is so that people can create their own simulations and then build it all up and then push it all out. And this is something that we really are passionate about, using this technology to unlock the access of spaces which you might not be able to get to. Say you have a job that you need to understand and learn, and you can't get to the facilities to look at it or understand it. Well, you'd use our platform to understand it and look at it. You might have click points and looking around and understanding a little bit more about the equipment you might use. And this is, again, to further upskill yourself. But it's also saving time for your employer or for the employer. And it's also saving them some money as well, which means they can invest more time into you. So here are some examples that we have on screen that we've done with our customers and what they've built. So for example, on the left, we have a sheep shearing simulation. So this was created by Menthamon, who are from North Wales. And they did this to educate stakeholders on the supply of wool. So the supply chain of wool. But they've also created this as part of the training exercise of shearing sheep. So how would you engage and shear a sheep? And I mean, it was one of the craziest things that we've got, and it's just brilliant, and we loved every minute of it. Then you have the likes of Hemsley Fraser, who are using HR training through these things. So as I said before, it could be that this technology is going to impact you so much that you might end up having your interview in the metaverse and understand a bit more. We have our platform used as part of the training simulation and understanding that you can learn how to communicate, learn how to go for that interview, understand a little bit better. I feel a lot better when I'm not in person, but it's always good to build up that courage, and you can do that through our platform. Here are some other cool things that we are working on at the moment. So this is something sort of like with the Apple VR headset, where it is a pass-through technology, which means that you can see the world around you, but you'll have digital interactions and digital 3D objects that you'll get to interact with that you can understand more. So here you've got the human body and understanding the features and the structure of the bones in the human body. Again, something in education which would be brilliant to have and understand a little bit more. So giving you guys a little bit of an understanding of my journey, I know I spoke a little bit at the very start, but again, I founded the company in 2017, but it actually first came around in sort of 2018 time. I spent my first 2 years doing market research, understanding more about how does it work, how is it that we are sort of working through this technology, what's the need? Again, something from my entrepreneurial journey that I had, which is you have a problem and you got a solution to it. Now, I will go on to a little bit more about that entrepreneurial journey and understanding if you are interested in starting your own thing up, it's not as hard as you think. It's taking that first step, which is exactly what I did. I took that first step and I went forward with it. So after spending 2 years in market research and understanding the customers and the need of, I need to train my staff, but they can't get to my location because of COVID. Or now I've sort of scaled down on price and I've scaled down on the amount of spend, I can't train them as well. So I'm going to use this technology to train them. So from there, we made our very first big sale. And that really helped us boost us up as a company. And we reinvested it back into the company by hiring more people because we were getting more people on. We then won a academy, sort of accelerator, if you like. Now there's plenty of accelerators and I'll go through that again later on in the presentation. But we won one of the accelerators that are based here in Wales. And we were able to pitch to Google. And that is where Google actually invested in us. And the part of their investment was to help us push forward. And that was helping us to sort of connect with people and connect with a lot of different customers. So once we realized that there was a huge amount of demand, we needed more money to expand. So we then went for a funding raise. And this might be a bit technical on this side of it, but I'll explain a little bit how exciting that sort of journey can be. But this is to help expand and to learn. And now we're pushing it forward and we're going forward quite confidently. So again, how does virtual reality work and what brands are actually adopting this? Well, you've got the likes of Nike are actually building Nike Land, which is quite cool, where you're going to be able to buy and sell clothes in the metaverse. They're already on the verge of building this. So this is where athletes will go to buy stuff, and you can buy your own brands and you'll have your own little avatar going. You've got Adidas, who, again, they've just gone and purchased a piece of land in a metaverse virtual world. And this, again, is the same concept as Nike, which is they want to start building a brand in here, and you can buy and sell software, clothes, and you can have your own friends there, and you can engage with them. And again, this is all part of, sort of the gaming world that they have. And finally, you have Disney. Now, this is part of the huge experience that I was on about. Disney are actually looking to create their own Disneyland park. They've actually even teamed up with Apple to create this sort of VR world. And they're going to have it, everyone's going to have a VR headset, and you don't even need to go to Disneyland. You could do it in your living room. You could do it in your home. You can go to Disneyland. And it's a really cool experience that they're bringing out. So again, going on down the entrepreneur route and starting your own business, what does it really take? Well, it takes time, it takes dedication, and it's always that first step, you know, going from the idea stage to actually doing it. Now, when you have a business idea, and I'm sure some of you might do, or all of you might do, I would really encourage to start looking and investing some time into it and having a look to see how you could do it. First, you'll have the problem, and you'll look at the idea and you'll go, there's a problem here. I can solve that problem by offering a solution. So how do we sort of get to the next step and the next stages of getting this through and growing the business, or even starting our business? Well, you'd start off with an opportunity evaluation then. So you start doing some market research and understand, well, here's my problem. Let me go out to the streets and ask people, or let me go and knock on a few doors and say, look, would you mind letting me understand a little bit more about what your problem is and how my solution may help? Or at this point, you might need to pivot a little bit, which is not a problem. You might have that problem where you go, loads of people are saying that this is the problem, and I'm only sort of solving 10% of it. Let's pivot so we can get the whole problem. So again, it's not actually a bad thing if you need to pivot. But this is why in the first sort of instance, you do your market research. Then you plan the launch. This is when you look at your business model and then go, well, how am I going to sell it? Am I going to sell it as a software as a service, a product as a service, or an internet as a service? Now, all these things don't make sense to you, but it didn't make sense to me. The understanding is whether you want to push it forward to then go, I'm going to sell my business. I'm going to sell my product. Then you go from growth. This is when you start to expand. You might make a few sales. You might start engaging. You might have your first customer. And this growth is brilliant because this is what we did. We reinvested it back into it. So we understand a little bit more about how we can grow as a company and how you as an entrepreneur go through these stages in order to create your business and grow it. Raising money, again, a very fun thing to do. But as an entrepreneur, you're open to raising money yourself if you want. You know, you don't need to be in my chair or my position in order to go and raise money. You need a good idea, you need some customers, and you'll be fine. So you would go through the different things of raising some money. And if you as an entrepreneur want to try and go down this route of creating your own business or starting your own business, you're going to need a business plan. You're going to need to understand the ins and outs of how to run a business, how to grow it, what your future is going to look like. If any of you guys have seen Dragon's Den, a lot of them will talk about numbers, the growth, the prospect. That is all in your business plan. And that's something that everyone needs to do when they run a business. You then also have a very good pitch deck, and this is something that you might sort of pitch to them, or you might say, here's your problem, well, this is my solution. And then understanding where it might go. So don't be afraid to go, do you know what, I'm going to build a business that's going to have 5 shops, or I'm going to run a tech company that's going to be really big. People like it when you're ambitious, when you're pushing it forward and the opportunities are there, because you've got a lot of support. Now, moving on to support, here in Wales, there are so many different support mechanisms. You've got the likes of Business Wales, who will always be there to help you if you've got a business idea. And it doesn't have to be in the tech space. It could be in the food industry. It could be in the catering industry. manufacturing industry, anything you want to do, any idea you have, and you might have a solution to a problem, you speak to these guys and they will support and help you. They will help you build up your business. So the likes of Welsh Government and Business Wales, NatWest and Berkeley Eagle Labs. Now these two are brilliant because they're banks who are looking to help entrepreneurs push forward on their accelerator programs. The accelerator programs are brilliant to understand how you run a business from the very start to the very first day, to how you deal with customers, how do you invoice, how do you do any of this sort of stuff. So it's really good, and they give you really good mentoring stuff. Then they give you access to small amount of fundings to help you grow, and you have to apply for these fundings, but it's a small amount to get you off the ground. They give you some space to maybe work, and then they also give you some sessions on how you would pitch this. If you're going to grow bigger and go for more money, they'll help you sort of pitch it. So there is help available out there. There's loads of support here in Wales, and we've utilised many of these. So just a bit of an idea of where our big future is, where we're looking to build a huge ecosystem, sort of like Ready Player One, where you can have virtual land, you can sell this, you've got for experiences, training simulations, connecting with your avatars, and we're looking to really raise some money at the moment. So we're expanding at the moment quite quickly, and we're expanding into the US. But one thing I want you to sort of take away on this presentation, and the understanding of if you are looking down the entrepreneur route, which is a brilliant route to go down, but it might not be for you. It's not for everybody. It's okay. But this applies to everything. Being persistent is key. Understanding that in the iceberg, everyone sees the top of the iceberg as success. But the thing is what people don't realise is what drives all that is everything below that water. The persistence, the failure, the sacrifices, disappointment, good habits, getting up early in the morning, hard work, and dedication. Huge amount of dedication. And this could be with whatever passion you might have, whether that is you want to start up your own company or you see a job that you want to go and work. That dedication there is what really helps you grow as an individual. And it's a really, really good thing with persistence, because you can get lost quite easily. But don't worry, persistence is key. We've all been there. I've been there. So you'll do really well. Thank you, and if you want to follow us, please do via the QR codes here, and hopefully see you soon.